My name is Phil Kent. I'm the mayor of the city of Duncan. We are a small city in a big valley, which is what we call the Cowichan Valley. The name Cowichan is the word for the warm land in our First Nations, local First Nations language. We have a little over 5,000 residents in the city boundaries, but the region has nearly 80,000 residents. The municipal government in Canada is sometimes referred to as the third level of government. There is a federal system and a provincial system. We are in the province of BC, British Columbia, and then there are municipal governments which take care of the local issues and local infrastructures that serve citizens. So as a municipality or city, we are delegated some certain responsibilities, most specifically around the physical infrastructures of the community, the roads, parks, recreation, services to people, sewer, water, many of these kinds of services. From the city's perspective, we work mostly on community development. So we work with very local people and different groups in the community, whether it's other cultures through the intercultural societies or with seniors for things that they feel are important and need service and addressing in the community. And we try to create a conduit of conversation and from our citizens to senior levels of government as well, both the provincial and federal. Well, maybe I think Joe first, just to give some history of the First Nations culture here and some of the things that we do today at a local level, at a community level, to try to work together. And there are, to be very frank and honest, some great disparities between the needs being met both in our community and in the First Nations community. So,
this is my ancestral land. I come from the clan Shekhaletsa, chief's family from way back at the beginning of time. So every day we struggle. We're coming into the 21st century. Change is something that we're learning. We have good friends. I call this man my chief, but he's my friend because he sees this picture, not this one. Like you, and I know by looking at how you're dressed that you respect birth, you respect death. So if you take anything away from Cowichan Valley, take this. We're growing, we're learning. We're learning to what we call Netzamas, Nisqualanala, one mind, one heart. We've got a long way to go, but we've come so far. I want to go to your land because I love what I see. I love this. And to see royalty makes me honored. Now I have something to tell my people, that I saw a whole bunch of beautiful people from Taiwan who came here and said, we want to know about you.
Hello. Hello. I'm here on behalf of Jean Crowder. She is our local representative to the federal government. The federal government in Canada is the highest level of government in our country. And there is a prime minister and a cabinet that make up his ministers as well. And there is a minister for Indian and Northern Affairs in Canada. And that minister is responsible for the Indian Act, which is the primary, or one of the main pieces of legislation at the federal level that determines the relationship between the federal government and First Nations communities. That act has been very controversial throughout history, and it is very troubling that some of the relationships that have been determined in the past have been from not a cooperative place. but from a top-down place. And Jean Crowder has been the critic for Aboriginal Affairs for 4 years, she was, and her role was to keep the minister accountable in what he does with that act, and also to relate to First Nations communities on a more personal level. So as someone who identifies as a settler myself, it is difficult to talk about the full effect that this legislation has had on the ground. I don't think I'm necessarily the person to be speaking to that, but I can listen and I can learn, and I can try to walk forward. And that is, I think, if anything, what Jean tried to do in her role was to walk with Aboriginal communities. As Joe mentioned, I think, you know, we have come a long way. There is a long road behind us and there's a long road ahead of us. And different people have come to this land through different means. But I think, if anything, at this point in history, we are trying to walk forward and create new relationships, a more balanced relationship, and to move forward as much as we can together.
Hello. My name is Lavi. Also, my indigenous name, my Chinese name is Wen Yuqing. Yes. 然后我要就是好了，先用中文讲，就是我要讲就是，因为他们有说当地的原住民跟政府之间就是有保持很密切的，就是沟通的管道。然后想说这个管道是透过什么？是网络上吗？还是如何来就是来进行沟通、进行介绍？还是有沟通会议？
From here.
用他的心，你的心。
Just talk. Sit down and say, let's talk.
Oh.
And then find something that we can do together. You may not get what you want, but you get something that's doable. Well, right now, between our people, the Cowichan people, and the city, we're working on sewage, floodplains, a lot of things where you know what I mean. When we had a flood here just a few years ago.
For instance, the flood issues, working in a collaborative way towards valuing the river, protecting both First Nations homes and our homes, but also valuing the culture of the river, the food source that it provides to a very important food source it provides to the First Nation people, and other things. And we're working collaboratively, talking to make it work for everyone. And so it's very important.
What we talk about here, I take to my people. I know my place. I will not go above my elders. We call them Salhuan. It's our elders. That's my history. I talk to them first and they tell me, this is good, this is bad, or this is how we can do it. And I try to bring it back to the rest of the council here. Hi, my name is Joe Thorne. My real name is Fathtupt or Sempton. I am a Cowichan Tribes member, and I sit on the Duncan City Council as one of the city's councillors. I think meeting these kids today has been long overdue. It's awesome. They sing beautifully, they speak beautiful, they wear their tribal colors proudly. I like that. It just tells us the commonalities between our nations are not that different. They have to present to their people what they saw, not sugar-coated or covered up. If it was pretty, say it was pretty. If it was ugly, say it was ugly. Let them know that they have to be the ones to help bring the change that everybody's looking for, so that we can all walk side by side instead of one behind the other.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Welcome. It's a boilsim. Hadespa nimakwan na kawatsi. It's ko imas nathitla. Welcome to my valley, and take with it from your heart these words.